Never take constructive criticism from people that haven't constructed anything. Okay? Criticism without creation is just noise. Talk is cheap, right? Opinions are cheap. Anybody can tell you what to do from the sideline, but they're not the one that's in the game. Building something, it forces humility, context, and having skin in the game. If someone hasn't risked anything, their critique, it doesn't carry any weight. It took me way too long to realize this, but it's true. Spectators, they mistake observation for understanding. It's like when you're watching a sports game. You're like, oh my gosh, why did he do that? Why did he throw the ball over the guy's head? Well, it's easy to say when you're a spectator. You're not understanding what it actually costs, what it actually takes. There's a term in psychology for it. I forgot what it's called. It's like spectators something, where it's you falsely attribute what you would be able to do in the same situation. And it's so true, bro. Watching from the sidelines, it feels like insight, but it just lacks friction, failure. It lacks any sense of responsibility that come with actually doing the thing, doing the work. I really just have stopped taking advice from people who aren't where I want to be. And what you'll realize is that you can take different types of advice from different people. So, for example, I'll ask my dad for advice on my faith, or advice on how to be a leader, because he leads our family, or one day when I'm a father, I'll ask him how to be a good father. But I'm not going to ask him about advice on career, because my dad doesn't have the career that I want, And so you have to start analyzing and assessing, okay, who's giving me this advice? Have they ever had skin in the game? Have they ever done the work? Like, how can some random dude off the street tell me how I'm going to become president? They haven't done it. Unproven critics, they often protect their own inaction. That's another thing you'll learn, is that when people are telling you what to do, or it's because tearing others down, is safer than confronting the fact that they never tried, or that they tried and failed, and then they weren't willing to get back up again. That's the truth. Criticism becomes a shield against their own stagnation. The fact that they couldn't push through that barrier. That's what you realize, specifically in older people. If you in the workplace, if you ever notice older people, a lot of times everything they're saying is projection for their shortcomings in their life. Real builders, they criticize differently. People who create, they're not the ones nitpicking from ego. If you have, let's say, someone that's someone who's successful in the film industry, an actor that had to go through a million auditions and they failed and they won, do you think they're going to look at the person, that the up-and-coming struggling actor that lives out of their car and is just chasing their dream, you think they're going to judge them? No, because they knew what it took. They know what it takes. So they're not the ones that are going to judge. That's what I've realized with social media. It's all the people that will say things. They have a faceless profile picture. They have 150 followers, and they'll leave a super nasty comment as if they've ever done anything, as if they ever had the balls to put themselves out there. Buddy, you couldn't even put your face as your profile pic. Do not tell me nothing about anything. Right? Their feedback, if they've done it, is, it's specific. They know the actual ins and outs of how it works. It's useful. It's grounded in experience, because they know what it's like and how hard it is to actually progress in whatever it actually is. I am not going to ask for health advice from someone who's 300 pounds, doesn't go to the gym, has no expertise in any field. It's not how it works. I'm going to go to a doctor, preferably one that is in very good shape, works out, stuff like that, because, they've walked the walk. Think about it in terms of your own self. If you were to give someone genuinely good advice, what would that advice, in what sector would that be in your life? It would be something that you have experience with, right? It would be something that you've done. I feel like I could tell someone how to get good grades in high school because I got good grades in high school. But I couldn't tell someone, here's how you bag like a girl that's way out of your league, because I haven't done that. Right? You know, and it's funny. A lot of my friends, like growing up and stuff, they would always like, you know, the guys that will tease you, like if you don't have a girl, like, oh, this guy with the girls. Ironically, they've never, you know, had a girl. They've never put themselves out there, and then you see them in a social situation where, you know, they're gonna try to talk to a girl and they suck at it. It's so cliche, but it's so true. It's so funny. I had an experience with two guys in my high school that were like that. So you'll realize it through all stages of life. People just like to talk. They like to say how they think things should be. But once again, this is just like spectator bias. Like I think that's the term, spectator bias. You over attribute like what you would be able to do in the same situation. People just they don't understand. Listening to the wrong voices, it really kills momentum. You can't listen to the wrong voices. A lot of times people are going to try to sabotage you when they see you on the come up. You know, if you're in a certain career and then you see an adult that's also in that career, but like you have a natural talent, you have a natural gift for what you're doing, and you're starting to like build momentum and see a little bit of success, you'll realize that these people that have been there for longer but haven't reached through the barrier, they get envious, they get jealous, and because of that, they want to sabotage you. They put on this front as though they are helping you, and it's like, oh, I'm like giving him constructive criticism. But really, it's just they're trying to trap you and sabotage you. And once again, they don't have any specific, useful, insightful knowledge that's actually grounded in experience, because they were never able to break that barrier. You know? Taking advice from people who've never built anything ultimately leads to hesitation, self-doubt, and in the end, paralysis. You just don't know what to do from people that haven't got there. Progress, it really requires selective hearing. You got to get good at the art of fine-tuning and picking out who can I actually take information from here. Because most people don't have your best interest at heart, and most people, they don't even have the knowledge that's required. Earned criticism sharpens you. Unearned criticism distracts you. Once again, like people can say something that sounds like really eloquent and like really thought through, but it's just bullshit. I mean, I can do it. I've done it before. Like if you give me some like random industry data analysis, I could be like, so the most important thing is you want to cross-reference. You want to make sure that your sources are reliable. You want to do, like, I don't know anything about data analysis. I could just bullshit it. And it's going to be a lot easier for someone that's also like in that specific path. They're on the path that you're trying to go down, but they haven't like reached the destination in that path. They'll understand the basic concepts and then they can just bullshit it. So you got to get good at understanding that those people, they're there to distract you. It's like a game. They're side quests that have nothing to do with the main quest, and oftentimes you just lose HP by going on them. You know, they could be fun, but then when you look back, you're like, eh. The goal is, it's not to avoid feedback, but the goal is to filter the feedback. Learn from those who've walked the path, you know? Not those commenting on the couch. This is a pet peeve of mine. I can't stand when people are just bystanders and they always got stuff to say. They never put skin in the game. You got no right to talk. Not all opinions are equal. You wouldn't ask a random cruiseman to steer the ship. You'd ask the captain to steer the ship, right? You wouldn't ask a random person on the street to perform surgery if you got sick. You'd ask a surgeon. The same concept applies for taking advice in life. Thank you guys for watching.